Welcome back to the Final Fantasy Tactics All Archers Challenge run. We are heading to Goug Machine City. We skipped the battle at Zigala's Swamp here because it played out basically like a random battle with a bunch of monsters. Nothing really notable happened. It was just archers lining up, taking pot shots at monsters as they tried to approach. So nothing really exciting to write about there. Now the Goug battle does have a bit of a cutscene that we have to watch at the beginning. Few notable things about this fight. Again, we're dealing with summoners, so hopefully we don't deal with some of the horrors of Barious Hill with those two female summoners. These are going to be two male summoners. Mustadio comes back. Now, Mustadio comes back as an engineer. He's back as an engineer. He doesn't have his gun. I cleaned him out of his gun, but he does have his engineer class back, and he is a guest again, so he can use his engineer skills, arm aim, leg aim, the things that he knows. So we will see those pop up. Again, part of the challenge run is things that I can't control. I will just let them happen. We have this little cutscene with Rudvich here is trying to ransom Mustadio, I guess, for the Holy Stone. There's Mustadio's father who gets thrown in there. Bezrodio is his father's name. He gets chucked into the inside of that building. There we go. And we're going to have our battle. So we've got a couple of archers, a couple of thieves, and a couple of summoners that we'll be dealing with. The challenge here will be position, getting position to be able to pop the thieves and the archers. Also, we do have a slight concern about our females in this party because those male thieves can get them under charm status. So we do have two females in this party that would be susceptible to that. If they are hit with that, we will just be whacking them with our bows. We don't have an easy way to do a little bit of damage. We just have to go for a full-on attack on them. So it's time for our battle to get started here now. Here come the two summoners. So we can get up on the church steeple back there, and that's going to be a good tile from which to attack. The archers on that other side, it's going to be harder for them to aim up. They're going to have to position themselves a little differently. Mustadio is going to come right down here, right at the beginning, and go for the leg aim on the thief down there. And now Mustadio, again, without his gun, cannot snipe those leg aims from all that distance away. We get our headgear stolen. Now that actually takes one of our points of physical away for the battle. So it can weaken you if it knocks it down to a new odd number. So Mustadio is going to get whacked. Luckily, Mustadio, I think, is just part of the party. We don't have to save him or keep him alive. I think we can just kind of go after it. When I recorded this, I think I remember that because he's going to be the target of a lot of attacks. Here's the first summoner. Now that first summoner decides not to cast a spell, which is very interesting. He decides not to target Mustadio down there. He goes for defend, which is a very curious choice, if you ask me. Ramza is getting good position there on the church steeple, and he's looking at the charge list, but he just goes for the attack because when you are going after a charging target, the multiplier that is multiplied by your weapon strength is increased by 1.5, so 150%, or it takes your attack multiplier times 50%. So. And with bow, again, that attack multiplier is your strength plus attack power divided by 2. Or, sorry, your speed plus attack power divided by 2. And then rounded down to the integer, and then that is multiplied by your weapon multiplier at the end of that. But you do get a bonus to the multiplier if they're charging. So sometimes it can be more beneficial to just do the attack right away. Lots of tile counting here. I'm looking at heights as well as counting tiles because I am concerned about those summoners. I also can't bunch my team up too much. I'm hoping that any offense from the summoners will begin with the Mustadio down there. And she decides to just go for the thief. And that's good for her because that male thief down there mixing it up with the ladies in my party is a little bit dangerous. It can turn the females in my party into killing machines against my own team, so we do need to handle that threat quickly if we can. And we are using lightning bows in this battle, as you just saw. Lightning bow is lightning elemental, and it has a chance to cast lightning spell that does have a pretty wildly varying damage. The lightning spell. It's very, very variable. As you saw, that was quite a low roll on that one. So Summoner is charging, but we couldn't turn it around to see. It is a Shiva that is targeted down on Mustadio. So as I was hoping, Mustadio is going to be the target of those spells. It's okay to leave him dead. We can just keep beating up the rest of the enemies. That will eat up a bunch of that Summoner's MP. And so he not only swallowed an action, but also a bunch of MP. That Thief is going to waste his action by going over to throw a potion at the other Thief, which is exactly what I want. I like them kind of delaying and wasting their time, because that gives me more time to get myself in position. Now, I'm playing pretty aggressive here to get up to the Summoners, because the longer they hang around, the more dangerous they can become. A little bit like our team. If we give them a chance to move up into position to start casting Shiva, say on the non-guest members of our party, it could be big trouble. But if we weaken them up, we can force their hand to cast Moogle on themselves or their teammates, or maybe kill them outright before they can get some big summons out, because those summons have a fairly fast charge time. So it's possible that they can just move up, target, and get that Shiva off before we have a chance to get anybody out of the way, or to fire back at them to kill them during their charge. That archer wasted her time on the item, and then she's going to go after Ramza. Ramza is taking a couple of hits, but his speed is up. And remember, the speed not only gives us turns faster, but if we increase speed to a couple of points, we can end up getting another multiplier from our bow. So it is not a bad thing to take a plinky attack like that that's in the teens or 20s if we get the speed save out of it. So that's an exchange that I will happily make with Ramza. And most of my characters actually get a little plink that can give us a boost to our speed and our damage. And because of that, I've also preferred speed over physical attack in item equipping. So I'm using things like Green Beret, the hat, that boosts your speed more than things like Twist Headband, which gives your physical +2. But speed is useful both for getting your actions and for increasing your attack power on the bows. With bow guns, then you want to go for straight up attack power, because your speed is not factored into that. So you see on characters that are using bow guns, when we have to do that, they can use that. Counting tiles again, trying to decide what my best course of action is here. Looking at my meter, Moogle is charging, so I just need to pop him down so that Moogle doesn't heal him back up. That's why I went for that. He also could just one-shot that. Archer did not need to charge up for that. So I don't want to deal with any nonsense with Moogles. Unfortunately, those Summoners are tricky to get to. I would rather be focusing my attacks on the Summoners, but I just can't get into very good position to shoot them because they enjoy that nice height advantage. So the high ground is very important with archers. Then it becomes just as much of a liability with archers as it is an advantage when the enemies can get up there, because they're harder to reach. Now this summoner, very curiously, comes down for a whack. Now he doesn't have enough MP for a big offensive summon, and his ability list does not give him anything else to do. So that summoner is not so much of a threat anymore. He could cast Moogle, which is why I want him out of the battle. So we'll take that. We'll take a critical hit on that to bring him down. But yeah, he was not able to charge a full summon. He had wasted that on Mustadio, and these guys did not have the same MP totals that the female summoners did in Barrios Hill. I didn't look at their equipment, but I'm guessing that they must not have had the same kind of robes on that those female summoners did at Barrios Hill a few battles ago. If you watched that video, you know what I'm talking about. So now we just have a couple of archers down there. Those female archers have not been doing much this battle. They took a couple of planks. One healed the other one with the potion, and the weaker one retreated. They've not really moved up and improved their position at all. So we enjoy a positional advantage over them. We have the high ground over those archers, so it's going to be tricky for them to get themselves into the battle at this point. They've really missed their opportunity to become involved, and that's great. I'm glad that they wasted some actions messing around down there. I will take that. Headshot. I found when I play this game, I like to say headshot and speed save. Every time those two things fire, headshot, speed save, headshot, speed save. Especially when it's a headshot for lethal damage. So counting tiles again, trying to get a good line of sight and within range of Gaston, the thief up there. And you see, I don't have enough to get to the thief, but I can arc the arrow over the obstacle to the archer that I can't even see. I'm going to see if I can get her again. Another nice arcing shot. And remember, headshot, we get the bonus 1.5 times your attack power. Your multiplier, I should say. Your multiplier for your bow. So that thief is weak, and she has the item skill, so she might be wasting her next turn trying to heal herself. Here's a steel heart attempt, which thankfully missed. That is something that was always a threat looming for this party. That was always something that we needed to be worried about. Thankfully, we only got one attempt, headshot, and it failed on a 53% chance. That goes into some of your compatibility things too, your ability to charm. And all Thieves Run might be a very interesting challenge to do. I think rather more difficult than what we have here. So headshot right there on the thief, right through that nice looking hat, And from the chimney, let's see if we can get that last one in here. 42 out of 48. And thankfully, he does not have arrow guard. He has catch. Catch is only for thrown items, not for shot arrows. So just getting ourselves into position for the final hit here, and that is going to be Goug Machine City completed with everybody on their feet. So love to see that, except for Mustadio, of course, always knocked out. So if you like the series so far, do let me know what you're thinking about in the comments. Give me suggestions for future things, and we will see you next time.